to everyone. Honorable Justice Sri Krishna ji, can we see Mr. Pankaj Kumar, Additional Commissioner of Income Tax here, please? Is the gentleman here? Or Mr. V. Janardhan, Joint Commissioner of Income Tax? Sir, can we have you on stage, sir, please? May I kindly call on stage Mr. Pankaj Kumar, Additional Commissioner of Income Tax, Government of India, and Mr. V. Janardhan, Joint Commissioner of Income Tax. Once again, a very warm welcome and a very good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen, dear recognition winners, sponsors, speakers, delegates. Honorable Justice B.N. Sri Krishna ji, a very warm welcome to you, sir. Mr. Pankaj Kumar, Additional Commissioner of Income Tax. And joining on stage is Mr. Kaviraj Singh, Secretary General, Indian National Bar Association, and the brain behind the various initiatives that you've seen for the legal community over the past years, so many years, and especially the General Counsel Summit and the awards, which is into its second edition. I request Mr. Kaviraj Singh to offer a floral welcome to Honorable Justice B.N. Sri Krishna ji and to Mr. Pankaj Kumar ji. Call on stage Mr. Neil Philip, Additional Commissioner, Income Tax, Government of India. Philip, sir, please come on stage. Thank you, sir. I request Jaslin to come in with a floral bouquet, please. And I request Kaviraj ji to also welcome Mr. Neil Philip. Thank you, sir, for being here with us today. May I now request Kaviraj ji to speak a few words?
Distinguished guests and our speakers, delegates, and organizers, I'm sincerely thankful to them that it is possible to make this event successful. Everybody plays a really good role on its part. And I would not like to take too much time from you. Our in-house counsel section is the largest in India. Whatever the association we have, other association does not have a membership, even though they call themselves a corporate counsel association. And we focus on the thought leaderships, not just a point for earning a money. We give suggestions on various policy matters, and we are happy that we are being supported by the government for our various initiatives. It's not in-house counsel is very sad that they are not recognized in India, and we are trying to get them recognized in India. Basically, every country recognizes in-house counsel as a counsel. How can you give an opinion which you do on day-to-day basis without being a lawyer? So what your government is doing is allowing or permitting an illegal practice and making a habit of breaking a law so that you can get away. So here we have a Mr. James from CITL. He comes under Mr. James Nadurappa. Can you stand up is working with the Ministry of Commerce and done a very good research how they are being regulated in different part of the world, and we are seeking your suggestions. So once we recognize you under the Companies Act, the government, then it comes the responsibility as well. As the CFO, it's a responsibility. You are liable, but you are also protected. Now, you have a in-house counsel, those who are not even a counsel. Even a company secretary, sometime CA, in some of the companies, they are being appointed as a in-house counsel. If I'm not wrong, please correct me if I'm wrong. So, it is a matter of a grave concern that in-house counsel should come up forward, give suggestions, discuss this matter, because you give an opinion and that is a violation, that is a crime. If you are not recognized, you are not getting a due recognition, or we are losing out a job to the non-lawyers. If in-house counsel is recognized under the Companies Act, then he will sign the compliance part. Then he will give work to the lawyers, not to the Big Four or any other CA firm. So it's a win-win situations where we can work, and we need your support, and so that government may be more serious to recognize you under the Companies Act, make it is a key post, managerial post. So you have a protection under the Advocates Act as well, and privilege, because you are confidentially giving information which you cannot be forced to disclose. So I will not take much of your time now. We have an award ceremony. So Devi, let us start with the, or I would like to Justice.
Thank you, Kaviraj ji. Before I proceed, can we have the representative from King's Tub Kasiva on stage, please, to give the awards welcome address? Do we have Mr. Jidesh here, or maybe Mr. Rajesh Shivaswamy? We don't. Okay. So allow me to proceed, please. Ladies and gentlemen, we have here in our midst a very eminent jurist, no stranger to the legal community or otherwise, Honorable Justice B.N. Sri Krishna ji. As everyone is aware, Sir is an eminent jurist and a retired judge of the Supreme Court of India. And I would fail in my duty if I did not read out even a little bit out of the gentleman's illustrious credentials. So, sir, please permit me to take 2 minutes of everyone's time here. Sri Krishna ji was born in Bangalore and graduated with a bachelor's degree in science from the Elphinstone College. He also received an LLB from the Government Law College and an LLM from the University of Bombay, and stood second in the university. Sir holds an MA in Sanskrit, a diploma in Urdu, and a postgraduate diploma in Indian aesthetics from the University of Bombay. Sir is a multilingualist and knows nearly 10 languages. In 1967, Sri Krishna ji entered the private sector practice in Bombay High Court, specializing in labor and industrial law. He was counsel for a large number of corporations, and besides appearing in the High Court, he also argued cases in the Supreme Court of India and was designated as a senior advocate in 1987. He was also appointed as an additional judge of the Bombay High Court in 1990, I beg your pardon, and as a permanent judge in 1991. He was later on appointed as Chief Justice of Kerala High Court on the 3rd of October 2002, and was appointed as a judge of the Supreme Court of India, and on the 21st of May 2006, he retired from the Supreme Court. He is leading the efforts to draw new data privacy laws for India that will regulate how tech giants from US and elsewhere will operate in the country. Sri Krishnaji plans to navigate a middle path between the laissez-faire US approach and the stringent GDPR just imposed in Europe. So, ladies and gentlemen, with these words, I request Sir to take stage and deliver his address to the audience.
Mr. Kaviraj Singh, Mr. Janardhanan, Mr. Philip, and all the distinguished members of the audience. When Mr. Notani and Mr. Nathani requested me to come for this function, I thought it was a simple thing of handing over thing. I didn't bargain for an address. Very well. I have faced so many situations, I'll face one more. Somehow in this country, in-house counsel have not been given the recognition that is legitimately due to them. This is because of the provision in the Advocates Act that even if you are an advocate, once you take up full-time employment with an employer, you are required to surrender your sanad to the Bar Council. Now, once you have surrendered the sanad to the Bar Council, what is your character as a lawyer is something that is left in limbo by the Act. That's a lacuna which you must seriously address and prevail upon Parliament to ensure that you are still treated as lawyers, albeit in employment, like they have made up several peculiar provision for law officers of the state governments and the central government, where despite the fact that they are full-time law officers, they are given this privilege of addressing the court as an advocate. In other countries, for example, in the US, even for that matter in England, they are entitled to carry on with their professional qualification as registered lawyers with holding a license to practice. This is an area that needs to be properly explored and remedied. Now, I do remember that there was an occasion where I was asked to give advice by an international company. I don't know, some of it might have seen it. It was floating on the internet. The question was, where there was a counsel who was also a qualified technical person, gave some advice to the company. Would his advice be a privileged communication within the meaning of the relevant provision of law, of the Civil Procedure Code and the Advocates Act, etc., Evidence Act? I had, after a lot of debate, after a lot of looking around what is happening in other jurisdictions, and a lot of research, I took the opinion that he did not have the protection, that it was not privileged. This is one lacuna that needs to be remedied. If otherwise, what will happen? You see, under the law, a legal practice includes practicing before a forum, maybe an arbitrator, maybe even a tehsildar, or even the court, including the Supreme Court. Or it might just be a question of just advising clients. All this is within the ambit of legal practice. But as far as advice is concerned, I may take advice from a qualified lawyer, I may take advice from my wife, which I do most of the time. The question is, I will not take her legal advice because I know she won't know enough of law. But on the rest of the matters, I always take her advice. This is some advice given to me by a former vice president of the India when he attended my marriage. He said, always take your wife's advice. That has served me for the last 49 years. Now, as far as legal advice is concerned, the provision of the law is none other than a person who is registered as a lawyer and holds a certificate to practice can give that legal advice. This is some area, gray area, which needs to be remedied. People forget that the first person who advises a company is the person who is an employee. There is a problem. Normally, the papers go to him and he is asked and say, what do we do? He takes a tentative opinion that gets debated in the higher echelons, and finally that is the stand that the company will take. Now that stand may be challenged, may come to judicial scrutiny in a litigation. But who built the basis of that? It is the in-house counsel. Now if the in-house counsel is wrong, imagine this big building, if the foundation is bad, however much Taj may decorate it, one day it's going to collapse, and we are seeing what is happening. In-house counsel are not trained properly. If the in-house counsel do not have that stature which is required to give legal advice, then finally the company will have legal problems and it will have a lot of difficulty if a matter goes into litigation. Another aspect of the matter is, what is the stature of legal in-house counsel in a company? My own personal feeling is there should be, at this appropriate level, an in-house counsel should be recognized as much as a CFO, a CEO, or a COO. They must have the same rank. And in fact, it's preferable that they should even be made directors on the board of a company if it is possible. Then their advice has a certain amount of weight. Because it carries weight, there is a lot of research which is backed behind it, and the advice is also given with a sense of maturity and responsibility. And that endures for everybody's benefit. It's for the benefit of the company, it's for the benefit of the employees of the company, it's benefit of the tax department, it's benefit of all of us as taxpayers. Friends, I'm happy that this association is doing good work. It's encouraging in-house counsel. It also has members, I'm told, including one of my friends who is a professor. Good. He can impart a lot of professorial knowledge to them. And it also encourages law students in various methods. I wish you all the best. And the fact that there is recognition given to its members for outstanding work in their respective field is a positive method of encouraging good people to come forward, and also serves as an incentive for others to make sure that they also come to that standard. Furtherly, it puts a responsibility on the award holders that they should maintain the same standard throughout and improve it if possible. So congratulations to all the persons who are going to be given the awards in advance. And my best wishes to the rest who have not been successful, that at least next year or the year after that, they will also hold awards. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Justice Sri Krishna. There is another problem with our Advocates Act, and it is nowhere defined what is a legal service. However, in a Legal Service Act, there is a reference what is a legal practice is to appear before the court. So Advocate Act is very obsolete in terms of the present practice. I have came to know about one judgment which, if it is implemented, lawyer employed by the law firms will be disqualified. So the provision is very, very confusing here. So it's now up to you to come forward and pursue the government, and there will be, we have already done a research on this. You can find it on our website. Plus, we are now making another round of research and your signature campaign so that we can submit to the Government of India.
Before I start the awards, may I request Philip sir to speak a few words?
Honorable Justice Sri Krishna sir, Kaviraj sir, and all the legal luminaries assembled here today. myself and my colleague Janardhan are here on behalf of our Principal Commissioner. Due to some urgent work, he couldn't be here. And so we were not prepared for this, in fact. But even though, it's a privilege to be here before you all. And from what I heard about what Kaviraj has just spoken, what this institute, this organization is doing is quite unique, and I wish you all the best in this. And since I have an audience, captive audience, I would just like to say one thing about our department as it stands today. As you all must be aware, we have now an open door policy. There's more of transparency in the department. And the CBDT as a policy matter now lays more emphasis on interaction with the public. We have various outreach programs where we go and meet the taxpayers, the associations, and we would also like to meet the councils who represent the companies also, in-house councils as you are, because you also must be dealing with the tax department. So what we would like to project is that the perception, general perception which the public has of the department has changed for the better. And that is what we want to publicize. So thank you very much.
So that talks of a great sense of collaboration, sir. Thank you very much. That's really reassuring. So, ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, what I would like to do is to start this year's recognition ceremony. But before that, can I have two gentlemen on stage, please? Can I have Mr. Rajesh, Managing Partner of Kingstop Kasiva Awards Partner, on stage, please? And also the representative of KPMG, our knowledge partner. Can we have Mr. Jagvinder Brar on stage, please? Is Mr. Jagvinder here? Or anyone from KPMG in India? Okay, as the gentleman comes, I'll usher him on stage. So what I'm going to do is to now take you through the proceedings of the awards, and we'll start with the ceremony now, please. So, a lot of people who joined in, and this is the culmination after a long, colorful journey. This is the happy ending. So, ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to start the awards categories. So, I'll start with the GC Infrastructure and Financing. The winner that's announced by Inba is Mr. Anand Vardhan, President Legal, Piramal Capital and Housing. Can we have you on stage, please? No? Okay. So, a senior member of International Bar Association, but very modest. She doesn't want to be on stage. So, that was Mr. Anand Vardhan. Congratulations, sir. So, now we come to GC Retail. The winner is Mr. Pankaj Patel. Keep it on the chair. Okay, now we come to GC Cosmetics and Personal Care. Mr. Rabindra Purohit, Head Legal and Compliance. We now come to a few winners in the BFSI category. The first one is Shri Mohit Shukla sir, MD and General Counsel, Barclays India. Now we come to the other winner from the BFSI category. I'm informed, first I'll announce the name of the winner, Mr. Bhargesh Oja, Senior Executive Vice President and GC, Kotak Mahindra Bank. Lucky winner to queue up is Mr. Rohit Salman, Head Legal and Chief Anti-Corruption Officer, India Infoline. Can we have Rohit on stage, please? The GC Manufacturing, Mr. Naveen Raju, General Counsel and Executive Vice President, Group Legal Services at Mahindra & Mahindra. The gentleman will be represented by Ms. Kritika Swami, Manager Legal. One from GC Manufacturing. The gentleman is Mr. Rajiv Chaube, Director Legal, ACC Limited. And sector, and the GC Pharma is Mr. Kaizad Hazari, President and Global General Counsel, Glenmark Pharma. Healthcare, Mr. Ankur Deka Rabha, Group Head Legal and Secretarial, Essilor India. We now move on to FinTech. GC FinTech, Ms. Nanda Harish. We now move on to the information technology sector. GCIT, Mr. Anupam Sharan, VP. GC Heavy Industries. Congratulations, Mr. Atul Ju. We move on to the aviation services. General Counsel Aviation Services, Mr. Sanjay Gulati, please put your hands together for him. GCIT Services. Any guesses? Mr. Vijay Shamacharya, Corporate General Counsel and CS. Okay. We come to GC Insurance Sector. Can we have Mr. Narendra Gangan on stage, please? Ladies and gentlemen, we now come to a new category this year. It's called GC Property Fund. And the winner is Mr. Rajiv Kumar, Senior Vice President. We now come to the GC Hospitality, and I'm very happy to announce the name of Mr. Dharmesh Srivastav, Vice President. We have another very popular GC amongst us. So this goes to Mr. Sachin Kalra, Group Deputy General Counsel, Hindustan. We now have a counsel practicing in privacy area, and Inba deemed it fit to award this to Mr. Rajesh Kumar, Group Manager Privacy at Infosys. We have another candidate in the manufacturing sector, Mr. Love Tanwani, please come on stage. Emptied the cookie jar, but there are a few GCs in absentia I would like to wish and congratulate them on behalf of Inba. I'll quickly read those names. These people, owing to a lot of commitments, couldn't make it. And after that, I'm going to announce the four. Okay, now we're going to move on to the best legal team. Okay, the best legal team. Can we have on stage the General Counsel of Walkhart Limited, Ms. Debolin? Now there are two joint contenders for the GC of the Year men category. The first one is Mr. Zamir Nathani. Zamir, can we have you on stage, please? The JC of the Year Men category, Mr. Zamir Nath. Senior Vice President. We have the GC of the Year woman. We have the GC of the Year woman. Any guesses, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, this is Miss Preeti Balwani.
It's a last but not least. This conference co-chair, we would like to recognize their efforts to make agenda, inviting speakers, and making it successful. It takes a lot of time and energy. I would like to invite Kavita.
Award to go, and this is Madam VK Jyoti, GC Fashion.
We would like to give a memento to Honorable Justice, and thereafter we will have a group photo so that it can be a good memory for. So that we can have a group pic. Usually we have every year a group pic. So I would like to invite, please come. Don't be shy.